This video, I want to get into the idea of dystopia. I find subject matter surrounding dystopia, especially William Gibson's version of dystopia, I find that stuff I really enjoy reading. I enjoy cyberpunk manga, I enjoy cyberpunk anime, or cyberpunk cartoons, cyberpunk movies, and even though I enjoy that stuff, just from a tech perspective and just some of the ideas that are in those films or whatever it is, manga, whatever it is, dystopia is first of all, I don't think anyone wants to be in a dystopia. Second of all, I've been thinking about the idea that the Cyberpunk RPG, Cyberpunk 2020 RPG creator Mike Pondsmith, I think about his idea of dystopia being how it continues to exist and how it's propped up is the idea that the civilization within that universe, the civilization that resides in Night City or even the rest of the world, they've essentially given up on hope. And I think about that, and granted that's a fantasy world, that's not a real it's not real, it's a role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game. But what he articulated in this interview that I watched regarding dystopia and how the world of Cyberpunk 2020 or whatever year it is now in that universe is that everyone's given up. They have no hope, and they prop up that system because that's just the way it works. And I think about that in reflecting on reality, and I do wonder, like, you know, what if we ended up in a dystopia and everyone lost hope? And I think about kids in that reality. Like, if you're having a child, you don't, in my mind, you wouldn't want your child to grow up not believing that something can change and that the world can't be changed. Like, in my mind, you'd want to teach your children that they can change the world, they can affect change in the environments and in their communities and stuff like that. And it's just an interesting, just that idea is very interesting to me, because I look at, like, okay, like let's just say Cyberpunk 2020 was real. Why would they tell their kids, why would they tell their kids that nothing can be done, that this is just the way it is and you can't change anything? Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. Not saying that that's a flaw in the universe of that of Cyberpunk 2020, but it when I think about that in real life, if that was to happen in real life, like, granted, I don't want kids or anything like that, but in my mind, it's like, I wouldn't want children to live out in that reality. And if I did have children, I would absolutely not, discourage them from wanting to change the world, discourage them from wanting to change the reality around them. Like, it's just something I've been thinking about recently, and I thought I would do a video about this, because it was just something I was thinking about in the last little while here, and it's just something that, like, that's gotta be a very dark world where you have a kid and you know, it. I don't know and I think about like reality, and like if we were to be close to a dystopian reality, like, you know, in my mind, like, I would never ever tell a kid that anything that they dream of doing isn't possible. Like, yeah, it's just an interesting thought experiment, I guess we'll call it. And I don't, even though that's the thing, is even though I love cyberpunk literature and I love that high-tech, low-life, idea as fiction, I would certainly not want that as a real state of our current world. And actually, I think about like the advancements in AI, and I think about how it's rolled out, and how it's kind of this Pandora's box, because we don't really know what it's going to look like in 5 years or whatever, maybe even 2 years. I know in the past I've said, we may not know, we're not going to know what it's going to look like in 6 months. I would say now we have a little bit more of an understanding, but I look at the whole AI thing and these data centers that are being built that are, wasting water and, causing all this water pollution, and, using the equivalent of a small city worth of energy to train the AI systems. Like, to me, that, and then of course there's these water, these data centers are being put in places that are like already water scarce. I don't even know why you would put it. I don't even know why we would have data centers, to be honest with you, because the level of water waste and pollution that those centers cause, like it. And it's funny too, because here in Alberta, we're supposed to be getting a couple of data centers, and I think about that, and it's like they're putting technology over human life. And to me, that is starting to like dip into like dystopian territory, where it's like, well, we don't know what the end result of AI is going to be, but we're going to take a risk and throw these data centers in places, and it's going to waste a lot of water, but we hope it fixes we hope it learns enough in a quick enough amount of time that we can solve every environmental problem with it, and the water situation won't be a situation anymore. And to me, that's a risk that these our governments are taking, that these corporations are taking, and that risk is actually at the risk of human life. And to me that seems very dystopian, and like, maybe I'm wrong, maybe that's not dystopian, but it certainly seems like dystopia to me, because that's the thing, is we don't know if it will solve those environmental issues. We don't know if it'll solve anything really. Also think about dystopia is a very interesting topic for me. I'm working on something of my own, artistically, not musically, but more, I would say, artistic. That I'm not going to give away too much here, but more artistic, that gets into like the dystopian side of things, dystopian cyberpunk side of things. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but because I'm not quite done it yet, and it's not ready to be out in the world yet. But it's something that I'm working on. That, yeah, just a very interesting topic. I just wanted to get this conversation going, and what do you folks, what do you think of the current state of the world, and do you see things going in a dystopian direction with these data centers and AI, or do you see other developments becoming dystopian, encouraging, that's not the right word, other developments that would fall into, that could potentially make humanity fall into a dystopian reality? Do you think that, yeah, I think, and that's something else that I think about is, what Mike Pondsmith said about that world and that reality and that universe. That is the key thing for that universe, is that everyone's kind of lost hope. And for me, I believe that we have the capacity to change the world, and I believe we have the capacity to change things around us or change things within ourselves. And I do think that dystopia could happen, but I also think that dystopia is not a fixed state. It's not something that is fixed in place. It's something that we can, fight against and fight against. Anyway, that's it for this video. I just wanted to kind of start a conversation regarding dystopia and AI data centers and that whole thing. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think that we're headed towards dystopia? Do you think we're already there? Yeah, that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Fuck yeah.